guys. Hello. Hello. How y'all doing? How y'all doing this evening? I'm waiting for the audio to come in. How y'all doing, deep laners? I really miss you guys. I really, really do. I miss y'all. I've been wanting to go live, y'all, but I've been having some issues. I've not been feeling well. Y'all know that. I told y'all that. And I've eaten very little. Your girl done lost some weight over here. Yeah. I did a facial tonight. I put on a moisturizer. Of course, I did my cleanser. I toned my skin. Then I put on a moisturizer and a serum. I also filled in my brow just a little bit, just for y'all, deep laners. Yes, I did. And then I put on like a bronze lip gloss with a tap of rosemary. That's what I did because I wanted to be looking like introspection. So I think I'm giving introspection. What y'all think? So how y'all doing? Seriously. All right. So let's get right into it, y'all. This is our first session. And since it's our first session, and I think I introduced this word to a lot of the people that are in our sector. I think I did. Yeah. And so why not? I've heard other people try to dive into like what it really is, but I'm going to do it for you. Okay. I'm going to do it. We are using Google tonight. We're going straight to the dictionary because we want to know. I know you've probably looked it up yourself, but I just feel like you need to hear it from me. Okay. So, all you new people that came in here not too long and you wanted to know what was going on with this lady named Cheryl, and for some of y'all who saw the video and decided to subscribe because you was here for it, because you've been seeing the junk or the dung that's been going on in the YouTube streets. You've been seeing it. You just probably didn't want to say anything. I just thought about, like, I have a lot of subscribers, right? I do. And they're not just people who want to hear shitty talk. They are people, like, they're real people, like the people that I know in my life. And I know you guys are in the bushes because y'all come out here and there and y'all tell me, and I appreciate you guys. I just ask one thing of you guys that are in the bushes, and I know that some of you have been doing it, but it's very important that you guys do it. So what I want you to do is, whenever I post a video, try to listen to all of it. If you can't, go back and listen to it, and then certainly thumbs it up. Okay, thumbs up the video if you don't want to leave a comment. And I thank you in advance. So let's get right on into it. We're going to dive into that beautiful word with 4 syllables: introspection. And if I'm not going to look down at the definition, I'm just going to say into me. There's an inspection going on. Just like some of us that lived in housing when we were young, and the housing manager came in there to inspect the apartment, and they needed that stove to be clean. They needed you to pull that eye up and wipe down up under there and replace it. You have to go to the grocery and get the eye things and put them down there and replace it. Just like the manager used to inspect our apartments, the introspection is about you inspecting you, your emotions, your mental health, and all of that. So let's get down into the official definition of it. Introspection, 4 syllables. The examination or observation, and I love that word, of one's own mental and emotional processes. Okay? Now, what we're used to doing on YouTube, and I've said this before on other videos for all of us to hear, we are so used to, YouTube gives us this job. So Introspection is opposite of what YouTube says to do. And I am aware of that because YouTube says to observe other content creators or whatever you see on YouTube, whether it be a channel of just anything. If they're teaching about narcissists and empaths or personality disorders or anything like that, or if they're teaching about cars, mechanics, or whatever, or home interior, or cooking like what we do, or eating, then they want you to give your opinion and leave your commentary or share your perspective, right? And that's what they want. But when you're introspecting, you're observing your own emotions and your mental health. You're looking into you. You're going inward, like what I talk about on my channel. And that's why I shared so much of my past, which there are lots of chapters that you guys don't even know anything about. Okay? So let's go on. So quiet introspection can be extremely valuable. Okay? So we want to look at an example of introspection. Some examples of introspection in everyday life include engaging in mindfulness activities designed to increase self-awareness. Now, that's a wonderful word about the self-awareness. You know what I mean? Because even though I have the ability to look into you, it's a lot more important that I have the ability to look into myself. And I am literally here on YouTube to tell you guys, and I've been doing that, about how important introspection is. However, in the sector that we are in, I'll say 80% of the folks, maybe 85 or 90, are busy introspecting others. And I have a part to play in that myself. And that is what just happened with the content creator, Eating with Q. That's what just happened as I looked into her situation, like the other content creators do or have done. And then I give my commentary. It went a little beyond that because I had someone who knew her personally who wanted to add to it. Whether or not we're observing someone else or we're observing ourselves, it's all an observation. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's all of what we do as humans because we're relating to one another. We're watching one another. We're listening to one another. Sometimes we compare ourselves to one another. Sometimes we look at a person and we say, oh, I can relate to you. There are so many similarities between us. Also, there are other times we strongly dislike a person, and sometimes we speak on that. All of it is observing. What I want to focus on mostly is that the introspection of oneself is completely, it's essential, okay? Because at the end of the day, you are your own universe. Do you understand what I'm saying? You cannot, none of us should or cannot be overly concerned about what other people think about us, really. Because there's a saying that I've been saying for years. We're not Siamese twins. More than likely, when my creator calls my name, you'll be nowhere around. Nowhere. I will certainly have to answer for myself. And as far as my living and my experience in life goes, I'm creating this life that I want. I'm paying the price for all these things that I'm doing, feeling, experiencing. I'm doing that. You know what I mean? Because what I eat don't make you. You know what I mean? I figured out years and years and years and years ago, this was so important in my life when I went through, and I want to really slow my speech down, down just in case someone comes over here and wants me to sound like the chipmunk. But I remember when there was a time in my life with me and my 4 children, and we had little resources, little finances. We didn't have much. There was a time when it was me and my kids, 4 children, and instead of me giving them, dropping them off with somebody or giving my children to other people, we were in a 1-bedroom apartment. So I didn't have much resources. I didn't have much money and all of those things. And I remember, but I had it in the past. I had a pretty nice size house. I think square footage was at that time maybe like 2,700 square feet with my 4 children. So they were used to run around in this big old house, upstairs, downstairs, bonus room, and all into a 1-bedroom apartment. And I remember that I couldn't take them to the Olive Garden anymore. I couldn't take them to IHOP. I couldn't take them to the steakhouse anymore. They were very used to going to all of those places. I think at that time our eat out budget was $400 a week. Just eating out, me and my children. So what we were on now, at that point when we were experiencing a lot of lack, it was severe to us. We did noodles. Oodles of noodles, like I'm the oodles of noodles queen. I could take a bell pepper, an onion, and garlic, and fix me a white sauce. I can do hamburger chicken or some type of fish, and I can create us the wonderful meals and with the noodles, and we would all get full and we would eat, and everything was fine. But I remember a couple of times the lights were cut off. I didn't have the money. Dad had skipped town with his new woman. And they were on living their life, doing what they do. And I remember that, I knew a lot of people who were still doing great. And they had their monies, their finances didn't dwindle. They had their resources. They still had their wonderful houses. At that time, I had to park my Cadillac DeVille. It was fully loaded, fully beautiful car, luxuried out. It was magnificent. I couldn't afford the gas. I had to put 93 in it. So instead of me losing my car, I parked it for 7 months and I rode the bus. But at that time, and we're introspecting, but we're looking into me. And I'm going to tell you about my emotional state at that time. So at that time, I realized, Cheryl, you shouldn't be overly concerned about what anybody thinks of you. While you're over here eating oodle noodles and hamburger and onions and other veggies that you put in it, and it tastes so good. They're over there eating exactly what they want. They might be at the Olive Garden. They might be at a steakhouse. While you're over here worried about the lights getting ready to get cut off, they're not worried at all. They have lights. They have money to pay their light bill. They're not worried. You're worried, Cheryl, because you don't have much money. While you're worried about maybe the water is going to get cut off, maybe they're doing fine right there where they are. And that's when I really realized, y'all, what you say don't mean much to me at all. You understand what I'm saying? Because we're not Siamese twins. I'm over here. I'm going through, but I'm okay. Because I got good energy. I encourage my kids. We're fine. We're all nestled up in our 1-bedroom apartment. The boys sleep in the front. Me and my daughter sleep in the bedroom. We're great. We're great. And we're going to do this until we can do better, because it's okay. You understand? I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm not going to feel bad every day. We're not doing that. We're not doing any of that. We're going to do what we can do while we can. I'm going to speak good things to myself, be kind to myself, because I know my circumstances are going to change because they had not always been that way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was looking into my mental health. There were times, though, there were times when it wasn't so great. And I was madder than hell because I realized I spent too much of my life caring about what other people thought. And then when I was in a situation, when I was hurting, when my belly was hurting and I was going through and I was cold, or if I was hungry, then their belly was full and they were warm and they were laughing and joyful at their house. Oh my goodness. You're never to be overly concerned about what somebody else thinks of you in any chapter of your life. Never. What you have to do is what I did. I started attending to my inner world even in those days. I started using my faith, and I started caring about myself. And I started knowing, believing that this was just a circumstance and things were going to change, and they did. Because not too long after that, because I had left my home. Me and my husband were broke up. I just walked away from the house. Too much. Too much. I had a whole lot of responsibilities, a whole lot. At one point, I was paying a mortgage at the house, a lease at the church, a lease at the salon, and a lease at the barbershop. Okay? At one point. And then I said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this. I am 33 years old. I'm young. I can start over. I can let this go, or I can let this break me and damage me permanently. That's been about 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And I'm doing just fine. It wasn't the last time that I went through something. It wasn't. I went through again. I experienced some other things. That's what you call living. That's what you call living. See, I don't need anyone to come and to research my life. I came to YouTube for that purpose. So if you are talking about me and you are sharing my videos, and you are spreading the news or the story or the history of Cheryl Grabowski, then you are helping me out, and you might be my minion. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You might be doing that. So guys, listen. Listen to what I'm telling you from a woman who has experienced a lot in life. I've had a whole lot of wins. I've had some tremendous wins, but I have certainly taken some L's. And it's okay, because I've learned how to introspect and to take care of my emotional world. When the critic inside of you wants to finish you, then you got to wrangle up that critic, and you tell that critic, hold on, wait a minute. At the end of the day, I'm human. Okay? So I forgive myself, and you should forgive yourself. You should give yourself grace, mercy, forgiveness, gentleness, kindness, loving. You should do all these things for yourself, like all these things that you do for other people. Now, if you're a narcissist, you're not doing all of those things, you know what I'm saying? Unless you've had therapy and you've learned cognitive empathy. Now, there is a young lady in my comment section, and she's new, and she let me know that she's a narcissist. And she said that she's here for it all. And she told me that she's been in therapy. And so what they do in therapy, they can teach you how to have cognitive empathy to show you what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to act in different situations so that you won't hurt others, people who are not highly narcissistic and people who do not suffer themselves with NPD. Okay? Now, since we said all that, and I hope you guys are gleaning from this because this is really, really good. I got something to deal with at the end of the video though, okay? Because my channel is, I want y'all to, as of today, just understand that this is not, we will not be eating the same meal every day, but this is more like a life's buffet, okay? All right, so is introspection positive or negative? Which one is it? Some examples of introspection in everyday life includes, we already read that. Okay, so is introspection positive or negative is the question that's being asked. Time spent alone in thought can be positive. It can be. A rich environment for personal growth and creativity. It could be a rich environment for personal growth and creativity. I love, one of the things nowadays that I love the most is to be sitting in a quiet room. I do it all the time. I do it every day. Okay? But it can also be dangerous when we are negatively turned against ourselves. And that's what I was just encouraging you guys a few minutes ago. When you know that you've missed the mark, don't be a critic to your own self. You're going to have to give yourself a break. You're going to have to give yourself all the things that I told you before. You got to do this to yourself. You've got to do it to not yourself, but I'm going to say the self. Okay? So that you can look at it in a better way. The self, you do it to yourself or the self. Okay? You cannot be overly critical of yourself because your body and your cells are intelligent. You will cause your body to turn on itself if you do that. And that is science. Okay? Introspection can be a process of healthy self-reflection, examination, and exploration. So when I tell you guys that I am researching or exploring the deepest rhythms and regions of my soul, this is what they're saying. Introspection can be for exploration of one's own soul. And then I mentioned to y'all the shadow. The shadow is the part of you with some negative memories and bad things and bad people. But everything about the shadow is not bad. Because if you learn how to integrate the shadow with the light, then you will be like me. You will be a strong force. A very strong, not easily shaken or moved at all. Not worrying about a whole lot of babble that's coming out of people's mouths that are unhealed themselves, who really don't have any answers, and they spend all their time looking, gazing, pointing at other people without having the ability at all to introspect. And so what I want you to do, I want you guys to do, is not treat yourselves that way. Okay? We can't do that, because in order to get where we are going, we have to get this inner world cleaned out, put it in a position so we can manifest on the outside what we want in life. But you got to clean the inside up, or you just are faking a fraud and you being phony, or you create a mask or a facade, or you're just projecting all over other people. We don't want to do that. Okay? So it can be for self-reflection, examination, and exploration, to explore, which is good for your well-being and your brain. You remember one of the things we say. I'm going to give y'all a quiz. We're going to do a Q&A one night. I am not my brain. I have one. I am consciousness. I'm above the brain. The brain has patterns, behaviors, beliefs, and all that stuff that need to be changed. Consciousness says, brain, I know how you work. And I've learned some tools from Cheryl Grabowski and some other people that I value. And we're going to change you. That's what you say. Okay? All right, let's do one more, y'all, and we'll be finished with this first session. Y'all certainly leave in the comment section. Let me know if you like this kind of talk. Because if you're listening to it at night before you go to bed, that would be great. If you're riding down the street in your car, listen to it. I'm trying to keep my voice and my tone in a way that your subconscious mind will not be triggered, that your subconscious mind will enjoy what I'm saying, and it can receive what I'm saying where it's not being triggered and it doesn't feel no type of way. Okay? Yeah, because there are other people who can't do that because they're brawlers. Okay? Oh. Okay, let's look at this because, people tend to. Okay, so this is a wonderful question. So are introspective people intelligent? Are introspective people intelligent? And average introverts and extroverts are the same in terms of intelligence. But statistics show that around 70% of gifted people are introverts. And so they know how to introspect. So about 70% of gifted people are introverts. Okay. So what I'm getting from this is you don't have to be necessarily more intelligent to introspect. It's just got to be brought to your attention that this is important for your mental health awareness. It's got to be brought to your attention that your physical health and all your blood work, and because all of it is numbers, right? On a scale. It's all measured and given to you by way of numbers. Like what is your glucose level? Or what is your blood level? You know what I'm saying? All of that. What is your pH balance? It's all numbers, okay? So we all have a profile, a medical profile about our bodies, but psychologically, there's another profile there, and it's our mental health, and we want to be aware of that. And so in order for us to be aware and it be brought into our awareness, then we learn how to introspect, because that will require that we go inward, okay? And we get our feelings and all of that stuff situated. Now, let me tell you something. Now, this is on a personal note, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video because it's been, 28 minutes. That's great. We didn't want to go past 30 minutes. Now, this is what I want to say about what's been going on the channel, too. So we are introspecting, and we're going to be doing some lives, and we're going to be talking, okay? So we're going to be talking about everything. We're not going to take anything off the table. We're just not going to do it because the channel is in an evolution and I don't want to resist it. I want to go where it's going, okay? Because whatever you resist, it's going to persist anyway. You know what I mean? So there's no need to do that. But anyway, I love you guys. I'll see y'all on the next session. Okay? And you all don't have to tell me what's going on in the sector, because I keep a good eye out on what's going on, but I'm an adult, and so I don't have to react to anything or any person, you know what I'm saying, unless I want to, because I'm always thinking, and this is just a habit, of what can I use as a teachable moment for me and for you. I love y'all. I'll see y'all on the next video. Y'all have a wonderful night. Bye.